All right, let's dive into one of the wildest days in recent financial history. We're going to break down how a single announcement from the White House managed to trigger this massive global shockwave and ended up wiping out billions of dollars from the crypto market in just a few hours. So first, let's just try to get our heads around the sheer scale of the damage. $20 billion. That's how much got absolutely obliterated in a single day. We're talking about leveraged positions, basically people betting with borrowed money, just completely wiped out. It's a number so huge, it's honestly kind of hard to wrap your brain around.
And this wasn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. As Weon put it, this was real, genuine panic. It felt like a complete freefall, the kind of bloodbath in the streets that seasoned investors hadn't seen in years. It just perfectly captures that feeling of chaos and total disbelief that ripped through the markets.
And this really shows you just how insane this event was. I mean, this wasn't just a bad day, it was literally off the charts. Just look at the comparison here. The liquidations from this one event made the collapses from the COVID crash and even the FTX implosion look tiny. We're talking about a shockwave more than 10 times larger, combined. So, the billion-dollar question, or I guess the $20 billion question, is what in the world could cause a financial firestorm like this? Well, the answer didn't come from some big company going bust or a technical glitch. No, this one came straight from the White House. Boom, there it is, the trigger. An out-of-the-blue announcement from President Trump threatening to slap a 100% tariff on all Chinese imports. It was a move that sent immediate, powerful tremors through not just crypto, but pretty much every global market. And check out how fast this all went down. It was a whirlwind. At 10:57 a.m., a key meeting gets canceled. Just 40 minutes later, the tariff threat hits Twitter. By noon, the Nasdaq is already tumbling from an all-time high. And by 2:30 p.m., the entire crypto market is in an absolute freefall. The whole thing unfolded in less than 4 hours. But here's where it gets kind of weird. You see, just a few days before all this, President Trump was publicly talking about how great his relationship with President Xi was and how they were making awesome deals. So, what happened? Why the sudden, super aggressive pivot? Okay, so the official story, the reason the White House gave, it all comes down to these things: rare earth minerals. Now, these aren't just some obscure rocks. They're literally the secret sauce in our modern world. They are absolutely essential for everything from our smartphones and cars to our most advanced military tech. And this chart really shows you the heart of the problem for the U.S. China controls 70% of these crucial imports. So, when Beijing announced new export controls, the Trump administration saw it as an act of economic coercion. Basically, they felt China was holding all the cards, and this was their way of fighting back, hard. And yeah, this was way, way bigger than just crypto. The fallout went global. The stock market took a massive hit. You had American farmers panicking because China suddenly stopped buying their soybeans. The entire global supply chain was thrown into chaos. All of a sudden, the whole world was holding its breath, worried about a full-blown trade war. So that's the official story. A tough geopolitical chess move, right? A necessary evil. But as the dust started to settle, a more troubling story began to pop up from different sources. People started asking, wait a minute, was there something else going on behind the scenes here? And this is where things get really interesting. Take a look at this one specific cryptocurrency, a coin literally called the Trump coin. In the minutes right after that tariff announcement, this coin didn't just dip, it completely nosedived, crashing a mind-boggling 80%. But then, watch what happens next. It's absolutely wild. After hitting rock bottom, the coin staged this incredible comeback. Anyone who was lucky enough, or maybe knew enough, to buy at the absolute bottom stood to make a potential 400% profit as it shot back up. The timing was just perfect. Almost too perfect. So, at the end of the day, you're left with two completely different stories explaining the exact same event. On one hand, you've got the official reason, a strong, necessary move to protect national security. And on the other hand, you have these really serious allegations that this was a premeditated move to deliberately crash the markets so that a few insiders could get rich off the panic they created. And that's really the big question this whole thing leaves you with, isn't it? In a world where a single tweet can vaporize billions of dollars in an instant, how can we ever really know where a legitimate political strategy ends and a calculated plan to manipulate markets begins? It's a line that seems to get blurrier and blurrier every single day.